Every year, as the parable of the prodigal son comes around in the lectionary, I am surprised how long the reading is. There is a great deal there, and it is impossible to say everything that might be said. The first question is this a metaphor for us who are here in the church, or for those who are outside, who do not believe, who do not know Christ and come to Him? And the truth is, it may be both. In our moments of despair, of sin, of distance from God, we identify with the prodigal, and we are assured that the Lord calls us and welcomes us in repentance. If we identify with the elder brother, who never left, who always did good things, who behaved himself and resented that his brother got to come back, if we, in short, consider ourselves to be the righteous who sit here in church and criticize those who are outside and do not come, then we need to hear the words of the Lord to the older brother. But for now, let us assume that we have all sinned. Let us assume that we have all fallen away and made ourselves distant from our Father and Creator, and that we therefore identify with the prodigal son. What then is the inheritance that we have been given and which we have squandered? Some of us in the room have plenty of money, and maybe we don't spend it the way that we think we should, but this isn't about wealth. The gift, the inheritance that God gives to us is existence itself. Our very being, not just being well and healthy, but our very existence can only continue by the active, sustaining will of God. And if we use that existence in love, in service, in repentance, then we are doing well. We remain in communion with God. We remain connected to Him. We remain faithful. We stay on the family farm and we work it. When we take this gift and use it for our own desires, treat it as something that we own, that we can spend, that we can do what we want with, then we are in a different place altogether. But if existence itself is the gift that God gives to us, if our very being is our inheritance, then when we run away and live in sin, live in selfishness, live according to our own desires without love, without patience, without regard for others, we have made ourselves parasites upon creation, upon the mercy and the love of God. But it cannot last forever. We will run out of strength. We can consume the inheritance that is given until there is nothing left, and we are sitting alone, hungry, deprived, miserable, separated from God, separated from anything that can give us joy or pleasure. In these moments, what is sometimes described as hitting rock bottom, in these moments, we are called to repent. which is simply to say, we are called to recognize the truth of our being. That everything we have enjoyed, whether we perverted it and used it in an evil way, or whether we simply consumed it, everything we thought was ours and now is gone from us, was and is the gift of God. And if we would find it again, all we need do is to arise and return to our Father and ask to be received back. There is no thing that we can do that will keep us from the Father. Nothing we will do, nothing we can do that would cause Him, when we come and ask for forgiveness, to turn His back and say, "No, I don't want you anymore." Nothing we can do, nothing we can say, no matter the years or the decades that we squander in a parasitical life, feeding off the free gift of God, will make Him reject us. All we must do is return and ask forgiveness. Accept that what we have had and what we seek are all His gift, His grace, His love to us. And we will be restored with joy, with celebration. The angels on high will have a party when we return. This Lent and every Lent, but indeed every day of our lives, the call of the Lord, our Father, comes to us. If we have wandered, if we have squandered our inheritance, He calls us to return, to be received back, and to have once again the fullness of what we had lost. And even now, as He calls us to stand and continue the liturgy, this is the call to rise and come to our Father. Please stand.